Hello, Angel here, and I've been thinking a lot about stuff, and I've truthfully been isolating myself more and more over the last 20 years. Uh, I have a lot of diagnosis. Make yourself a bowl of alphabet soup, get a spoonful, and somewhere in there I've got like an ADHD, FMS, CPTSD, BPD. Yeah, it depends on the doctor. But that doesn't mean anything to most people, and most people are, I don't believe in that or whatever. So what I've really got going on is I am in pain from head to toe. Um, I have a condition that makes my muscles hurt and tense, like all the time. I have arthritis, so all my major joints hurt all the time. I can pretty much feel my skeleton at any given moment. And because of my condition, when I get stressed out, I throw up. My blood pressure drops, and I get really, really sick. The more stress I'm under, my blood pressure fluctuates, and I tend to sometimes fall. And I've had several major falls that have left me with bulged discs in my neck, and damaged elbow, damaged thumb, pinky, uh, wrist, rib. I've got a dislocated rib, jacked up hip, tailbone. My ankles have been rolled so many times. It's just, so yeah, I am in pain from head to toe. And I try to explain this to people, and they always kind of just like, well, I'm in pain too. And I'm like, do you wish you were no longer here every single day of your life? Then no, you probably don't. It's probably not the same pain. And on top of that, it causes a lot of depression. I struggle with functionality. I'm stuck in bed 3 days a week, like literally vertigo, throwing up, can't sit up, pain so bad, can't sit up. I can only sit up for a few hours at a time. Pain always wins, man. So, the reason I bring this up is not because I want people to feel sorry for me. What I really wish people knew about me is how hard I struggle to stay functional, but the fact that I still do. And yes, this is all relevant. We really wanted to start the Dream Wanderers channel, showing us sourcing our vintage toys and selling juggling sticks and explaining, what we do, because my family and I have had to find ways to work around our illnesses, different illnesses, and this is what we found. And a lot of people think that I don't work because I'm dirt poor. I do work as much as I can, but I just don't have the functionality to hold down an actual job. Bosses don't like it when you call in sick several days a week, or when you can't sit up because you're puking, and things like that. So lately, I really just want to give up on everything. It's been really hard. Um, because I feel like I've worked so hard, and everything that I did work for is gone now. Um, the family house that had been in the family 80 years is gone. And I thought that I was going to get a chance to buy out the other shares, but I just couldn't do it, and they wanted the money up front. So that's been really hard. And I literally have to find a reason to keep going every single day. It hurts to exist. So this business was my answer to that. So we started a business where I can work on my own time. But because I'm poor, I have to do everything myself. I can't afford to hire people to do business cards or graphics or website design or bookkeeping. I have to do all that too. And it's funny when people don't see you getting up and going to work every day, or when they don't see you actually working. They assume that you don't do, like, those things happen magically. They do not. And I never know when I'm going to be sick for weeks at a time. And so, like, I'll start to build momentum, then I'll get sick, and it's this roller coaster. And so lately I've been like, any idiot who is homeless and living in an RV with no running water, with a roof that looks like this, that's gross, right? Um, it's a functional RV, but it's not my dream home by any chance. Now, the one thing I'm thankful for is I do have a roof over my head. It could be much worse. But at the same time, it's a very old roof and it needs a lot of work. We need a new hot water heater. We need to replace the air conditioner, at least put a new vent in and fix the ceiling. We need running water. We need sewer. We wish we had a place to go, but we're kind of living off grid right now on a friend's property. And this is where my animals and I are. And there's a lot of things, like, if I'm homeless, why do I still have my animals? My 2 dogs, my 3 cats, my rabbit. Because they make me happy. And I do struggle every day. I try to make sure I have a reason to get up in the morning. And that may not make sense to some people, but my animals keep me going. My family keeps me going. And my business keeps me going. Because my business gives me that hope that I might be able to change my circumstance. That I might not have to be in poverty my entire life. I ain't looking to get rich. Like, everybody else is like, I want $1 billion business. And I'm like, I just want to be able to go out and eat now and then. I want to, keep my bills paid, still have enough money to go out and eat. Maybe go do something. And I really I crave adventure. And I'm not talking, I do want to go to New York to see my daughter graduate. What mother wouldn't? But that trip would take more than I can bring in a month right now. And so, I put up this GoFundMe, but I don't know if it's going to get there or not. And we'll see. But, what kind of idiot who's homeless, who keeps their animals, even when they're homeless, makes their poor dogs live in a fart tube? It always smells like a fart in here, let me be honest. That many animals, it just always smells like a fart. Plus, well, only 2 of the cats are indoor, but 2 cats using a cat box, it's, almost needs scooped twice a day. It's fun, but they keep me going. And then, I've got my business, and it's like, all right, so what sort of idiot tries to run a business when they're poor and homeless? And people have tried to get me to give it up. They're like, I did get a grant to start it, a government grant. And so I owe very little debt on the business, and that's good. COVID shut us down for a couple of years. It is a festival-based business, those kind of things. So I will get into the actual business plan in another video. But I wanted to talk about why I run my business the way I do, and a lot of it has to do with my health winning. I'm in a great deal of pain just right now, and I never know when I'm going to have a migraine. A lot of the pain, it's hard for me to sit still, and so I tend to have to stretch and rock back and forth constantly. And then the head injury 5 years ago changed my life. I'm still light sensitive, sound sensitive, and I can get a migraine like that, just moving my head wrong, sleeping wrong, and it's a migraine that'll last for days. They've given me shots in the back of the neck. The first ones worked. The second two made it worse. I went to a chiropractor. He gave me a headache for like a week. I'm trying to get help. I go to the doctor a lot. Being sick is a part-time job for me, between going to doctors and picking up prescriptions and being stuck in bed and the vomiting, especially, if I get stressed out. And that's part of the reason I have to isolate, because other people stress me out so bad. And I tell them I don't do drama. I can't be stressed out. And it's like, look, you're not worth puking over. Not many people are worth puking over. It sucks when I can't keep food down or move my head, or when I have my migraines or whatever. And most people aren't worth it. I mean, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but if they're bringing nothing but drama into my life, I can't do it. So that pretty much wipes out working with coworkers, right? Because high school never ends. The same people who are there in high school, the same people who are there in, when you start at the office or whatever, when you get a job, and even in the rest home, there's still the busybody and the troublemaker, and that's always there, and it's all drama to me. I don't know how else to explain it to people that, I need to focus on my business, because your business is going to make me sick, and my business is stressful enough. And so a while back, in October-ish, or early November, I didn't get my check, and I lost my food assistance at the same time, and I hit rock bottom, and I ended up in the hospital on an involuntary psych hold, because I did not want to be here anymore. And I realized that, aside from my loved ones, 2, 4 legs, however many legs, this business is what I wake up for every morning. It's that possibility that I can better my life. And I'm not going to give up. And I've decided to start making more videos, no matter how bad they are. So people not only know what I do to keep myself going financially, but what I deal with physically and emotionally. I definitely don't want it to be a wow story, because I don't want to be this way. And I've worked very hard not to be this way. I've been in therapy for 35 years, man. I became an advocate to better my situation. I can't drink, I can't do drugs, because it would just make everything so much worse. And I can't really put anything in my body that the doctors don't prescribe. I can't even put things in my body that the doctors do prescribe a lot of times. So my life is really boring. There were times when I just wish I could drink and forget it all, or give in, but I can't. I have to keep going. And so 10 years ago, I tried to get my store going, my mobile store. And I've been fighting ever since, trying to build it $5 at a time, $10 at a time, $100 at a time, whatever I could spare. And so it's slow. And I think that's something people don't understand, is not only do I have to do all that side work myself that they would hire someone for, but I have to do it with a very limited budget. It took me like 4 years to save up for my cricket. And, I don't like debt. I don't want the dog's constantly biting at my butt. So, and that's what debt is. It's somebody else owning you. A lot of my family has helped me out, and there's no lie there. If I had to pay them back, it would take the rest of my life. My friends have helped me out, but I don't want that. I don't want to be dependent on other people, and that's part of what ended me in the hospital. Is suddenly with no money, I was going to be fully dependent on other people. And when I'm sick, and I got sick about then, it started with a kidney stone, started with, UTIs, and it just, one thing after another. I've been in the hospital so much this last few months that I can't even, it's like every 2 weeks lately. UTI, I almost went septic. I was cold shivers and in so much pain. Then I also had my teeth aren't great because I can't afford to take care of them either. Dentists are hard to come by when you're homeless and moving around. And the infection in my teeth got so bad, I ended up in the hospital, and I'm down 2 more teeth. Gonna have to get some back teeth going there because it's getting really hard to chew. But I'm trying, and I'm trying hard. It feels like I have to try twice as hard as everybody else to accomplish half as much. And then nobody ever sees what I do accomplish. So, I wanted to keep making these videos because I'm tired of being down. And I wanted to have some accountability to other people. And I was hoping that I could get some people encouraging me and helping me get through this. I need your positive feedback right now. And I need people to know that I need people to know how hard I try. And I don't know how else to show them what my life is like or how hard it is for me to do normal things sometimes. But I also wanted to invite you into the process of building this business, not from scratch, but I wanted you to see that process and hopefully encourage me in that too, and help me keep my dream alive. So I do hope you'll join me on this journey, and next time I will explain the business part of it in more detail, but on this one I just wanted to let you know why I'm doing this, and I'm sure only people who genuinely care about me are going to be interested, or, well, people who hate you always want to see shit like this. So I hope if you have negative feedback or comments, you can keep them to yourself, because I don't really need it right now. I do need positive encouragement. And I was hoping I could ask you for that. If I keep putting out videos and you keep telling me to keep going, maybe I can keep going. Because sometimes it's hard. So, in the next video, I will explain the business. I've been wanting to make more videos, but the weather here has been completely erratic and really cold. It was starting to warm up, and then suddenly it is now colder than it was in the coldest part of the January. It's really, really cold right now. It was 2 degrees this morning, and again, I'm living in an RV. I constantly wear my gloves, my hat, my coat, and wrap up in a blanket and sit in front of the heater. And, right now I don't actually have a bathroom, so I have to use someone else's or wait, and I've only been able lately to take about a shower a month, and the rest of it is washing in the sink or, wiping myself down. What do they call it? A nun's bath? I can't remember. Spit bath, what my grandma used to call it, but I hate that word. A lot of baby wipes, and I've ended up in the hospital anyway because I'm not able to even really keep myself clean right now. And I'm hoping it gets better. I'm hoping you'll help me remember it gets better. I am feeling better. I am on some new medication. The hospital really helped, and my new therapist is awesome. So that's cool. I did want to update you on AJ Von Boop and stuff. Well, it turns out he's a zombie. He was not eaten by coyotes. Someone took him and turned him into a shelter almost an hour away, claiming they found him 20 miles in the other direction. We kind of know more of the story, but that's all I can tell you without legally implicating certain people. But he was taken. And there... Wait, I can show you. So AJ, right there, that's our boy. They called him Rusty. Rusty, he likes it, I think. Yeah. Anyway, one of our friends found that picture, and 2 weeks after he went missing, we were reunited, and I cried, he cried. It's awesome. And he is back in his favorite chair. Yeah, that's a doggy floof over there. AJ's 16, and, we don't know how much time we have left with him, but thank God a coyote didn't eat him, and hopefully we can enjoy every minute what's left. We like our geriatric dogs. Our other dog doesn't have much time left. We've known that for a while. He has cancer. Sorry. So we tried to promise these dogs when we rescued them that they would have a good retirement. And we're going to try to do that as best as we can. Our cats are just rotten. They're only about 6 years old, so they've got a while. And yeah, thank God for my animals. They give me a reason to get up every morning. My kids give me a reason to get up every morning. I miss my grandma, but I had the last 20 years with her almost daily sometimes. Sometimes my illness would keep me away for a month at a time, but we were able to do what we could to make her comfortable and help her out. My family did their best to help take care of her, and it was a blessing. But I miss her, and she helped me out. She helped me keep a roof over my head for many years, and I could never repay her. She would definitely not like the situation I'm in right now, that's for sure. And I would like to get myself out of it without help. That's what I want more than anything. But to do that, I've got to get my store open, and I've got to get to the flea markets and to festivals and eventually to Ren fairs. And as I talked about before, adventure is what keeps me going. And to do that, I would love to travel. But the kind of travel I need to be doing is more, right now, local stuff, just experiencing new things. Like right down the road, there's the Gator Farm. My daughter took me there a while back, and it's cool. I'd love to take you guys there. The sand dunes. Crestone is a funky little town that you just kind of have to see to believe. And there's the Buddhist shrines, and there's the really big one on top of the mountain, which is amazing. And there's the alien watchtower. The San Luis Valley is full of stuff, but you still need money to even do those little things. There's the sand dunes pool. God, I wish somebody could buy us a membership there, but we'd still have to have gas money to get there. But at least I could take a shower there a couple times a week and soak in the hot tub, and it did used to help a lot. I'm not just talking about that for, vacation purposes. And when we used to be able to go to the pool, and we had the family membership, it was like, back then it was $80 a month for 4 people. So, I was in a lot less pain then, and I would like to continue that version of therapy. I guess I am getting a new physical therapist and a new pain management. I'm getting a lot of good doctors, but I really miss that. Plus, more frequent showers would be really, really nice. And I miss toilets, man. Really miss toilets. So, yeah. my life isn't exactly rock bottom, but it's definitely close. So yeah, I hope you'll join me. And again, I'll explain my business stuff next time. But this time, I wanted to tell you why I'm doing this. And yeah, I'm tired. It's been a long day. We picked up AJ today, and then there was a bunch of crazy stuff going on. So I'm gonna get some sleep. I don't know if you can tell how tired I am, and it's late. But yeah, I need your encouragement right now. And, I was thinking, I do have the GoFundMe to go see my daughter graduate. That really is one of the most important things to me right now. And then next to that, we do have an Amazon wish list of stuff we need for the business and for the RV. So I will try to remember to post that link. And then gift cards. We can accept gift cards to restaurants. We can accept gift cards to Walmart. Any of those things will help. Gas cards would really, really help. You don't have to help out in any way. What I really, really need from you is your encouragement. But if you would like to help in other ways, those are available. I do have a PayPal account. You can always buy something off our eBay store if you feel better about that. I did make a sale today. $40 Polly Pocket sale, so I'm up to almost $400 on that $20 Polly Pocket tub that someone I knew helped me find, and they found it and gave it to me, and it was very, very generous. But yeah, I do have a lot of stock to sell. I've just been trying to get stable so I can start my eBay store back up, and we're having a hard time transferring the financial and getting our address straightened out. But I do want to get our stuff listed, and we have, enough stuff to keep us through several months, and then we're going to have to start sourcing, and we are an hour from anywhere that might have stuff, and we're, probably 3 hours or 2.5 hours, I don't know, from the nearest, like, Salvation Army or whatever. But, we're going to have to hit yard sales and stuff, and hopefully I can bring you guys along. So maybe a travel channel, picker channel. I don't really care. I just want you to come along for the journey and help me figure out other journeys. So thank you for your support, even if you're just watching this video, and please leave a comment. And I'm not saying the comment, like, subscribe thing, because I just need the, hey, hang in there, keep going, you got this, whatever. I don't know, but I'm tired of being at the bottom, so let's claw our way back up to the top. Love you guys.